Yes, Michael, I pressed that button. I pressed that button real good. Wait, what? Sorry. I'm just glancing back at chat and turning down my microphone as usual. I've got to do that at the start of everything, every time. Okay, there are a bunch of people there to say good morning to. Hey, don't anybody use the TTS yet, because I haven't opened it, which means it's not going to be working. So while that is opening, I acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, the Wedjuk Noongar peoples. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and to Aboriginal elders and peoples from other communities who may be taking part in this live stream today. Welcome everybody. Mitch, say this doesn't work. Say it. And yes, Mitch, I know I owe you a phone call. It's been very much on my mind. I will call you today. TTS is open. Not hang on, what? What? How? Okay, hang on. I've got to do something here. There we go.
Austin's underscore creations said, "This does work."
This does work. And let's just bring Mitch's back up as a counterpoint.
This doesn't work.
See, now we've covered all the bases. It's Schrodinger's TTS. Pete, Sunday morning reheated pizza for the win. Yeah, reheated pizza is great. No, the question though is, did you reheat it in an air fryer? Because if you didn't, you are not getting the full experience. What am I doing? I am. Okay. Good morning to Michael Wires, Mitch, Crispian, Wagon Loads, Immy, Any Mules, 50 Hertz, Shucky, Matt W, Some Call It Fun, Russell Rainey, Grant Mazels, Tech Nebula, Stephen W, Mike Carden is here again, David Howes, Austin, good morning Austin, Pete, Mike Locke, Amanda. Okay. Amanda says, good morning from Cessnock. I'm volunteering with St. John. Oh, okay, so you're back at the races. Is it the races? I think it's normally car races that you're doing St. John stuff with. Where is Cessnock? Cessnock. Let's find out. Okay. Oh, well, yeah, it's just near Norcaba and Aberdare. That makes it clear. It is, yeah, a bit of a distance from Kindbar and up a bit northeast of Millfield, kind of northwest of Melbourne. Celtic Beast is here as well. I have no idea where that is, and I'm zooming out the map. All right, it is from Newcastle. It is sort of west-northwest. Yes. So where's Newcastle? Newcastle is, wow, you're way up north of Sydney. Okay. Cessnock. So, Stephen W says none of those locations are helping. No, that was my point. It was not helping me in the slightest. Pete says, I'm not a monster. Doing it proper. Warming it in the microwave, then crisp it in the air fryer. Yeah, okay. So you are a reheated pizza connoisseur. I approve, Pete. I approve. Michael says, a long way from Udna data. Australia has some of the best place names. Wagon Load says, I live in the other Newcastle. There is another Newcastle? Oh yeah, I think there might be a Newcastle in the UK, but it was probably named after the one in Australia. That's my guess anyway. Yes, the mother country got many of its names from Australia. Yeah, like they named a queen after this state. The state that I'm in right now, Victoria. Yeah, the Poms liked the name of the state so much that they named a queen after the state. Oh, Pete says, straight into the air fryer dries the cheese out too much. Yeah, that's, yes. Oh, Wagon Load says, East Coast USA. Ah, yeah, okay. So, East Coast, the city in East Coast USA was also named after the city in New South Wales in Australia. Oh yeah, and there's that country called Wales that was named after New South Wales as well. So many places in Europe named after Australian locations. Oh, Grant says, there must be more than one Newcastle in the UK, as the one we talk about is always referred to as on Tyne, as in Newcastle on Tyne. On the Tyne River. But does East Coast USA have a nearby Cessnock? Maybe not. This is not what I expected to be talking about today. As usual. Oh, Celtic Bee says, Wales was named after large aquatic animals. Aquatic mammals. No, it wasn't. It was named after the state in Australia. John says, curious, did you have anything to do with Freetronics Arduino cards? Yeah, kinda. Just a little. Which ones in particular, John? Please. Gavin says, I see the new meds are working well, Jono. What new meds? The only new med is the coffee that I got on the way in this morning. Pete says, there was the town here of Bismarck, but they decided to let the Germans keep their rip-off after the start of World War One. Yeah. 25. Oh, John says 2560. Yeah, you're talking about the Ether Mega 2560. Yeah, I kind of did have something to do with that. I kind of designed it, but that was a very long time ago. So I have not a whole lot of memory. I do have the original design files here. Let's. So I was going to. All right. I'm curious. I haven't actually looked at the Ether Mega design files for a long time. I'm going to pull back out to... There's the Ether Mega 2 that I designed and never produced. Let's see... Projects. I'm just going to have a look at... oh, there's the Ether 32. No, that wasn't it. The Ether Bear that I designed, made prototypes of, and never actually produced. Like not... I have Ether Bears here, which are really cool, but I just never put them into production. So many of these things. Maybe I should make a version with like an 18 mega 4809 or something on it. That would be a really nice little board. For those of you who care about Ethernet, where am I? Where am I? Okay, I am looking. Sorry, you're just staring at my face. I'm looking at much more interesting things, which is my file system. Products. Ether Mega. Let's do some. This Ether Mega. Oh look, you get to see what's part of what's on my file system here. Laser, yeah, I can unmount that. I can. This is after. Look at this. Oh, yeah, force eject. Force eject. Get stuffed. Bamboo Studio. Unmount that. Look at this. D1X Rebirth. This is the Descent 1 Rebirth, which after last week's stream I grabbed. Where are we? Code version. Why aren't the design files in here? Documents, tests. Oh, what are these images? Ah, this was USB-C conversion. Okay, yeah, that's right, because I was doing a USB-C version of the EtherMega. When I was working on the EtherMega 2, it was documents, getting started guide. Oh yeah, there was the EtherMega R3. That's right, that was an updated intermediate version. Stephen W says, I have an Ether 10 and an 11 still running things. Nice. Oh, Pete says, a fun live stream would be have a go at updating the 2560 to work in KiCad. Yeah. Let's see. EM, so that was the EtherMega directory. Is there an EM directory? Things kind of got out of control. So this is all Freetronics related boards. And so I've got my project stored in a few different places. DT830B. Oh, that was a breadboard thing, I think. So EtherMega, Ether 10. Oh, there's the that's the Ethernet Shield from the very early days of Freetronics. So artwork code data. What's in artwork? Packaging? Nothing in packaging. That must have been separate. Code. Oh yeah. Now let's see the dates on this. The hex file 2014 was the last time that was updated. 11 years ago. Data? Nothing in data. Documents. Just the getting started guide. Tests. Nothing in tests. They were stored separately as well. They went to the factory. What I'm looking for is... okay, I'm going to move... What am I going to move? Pete says, old man! Yes. Ooh. John says, I used one with a homemade GPS clock with 6-inch tall digits. Awesome. I'm going to bring live chat up here. And I've got to figure out how do I do Shift Command plus. Shift Command and then plus is over there. Yes, it works. There we go. Johnny, good today. Yes, good today, Johnny. Jordan says, hey, all doing QSys training today, so not sticking around. Have a great day. Well, you do too. Have a great day doing your QSys training. Now that's in products unsorted. What about projects? Ah, it's probably in my Eagle directory. So I've got to go into Dropbox Eagle. Here we go. Look at this. See, that was the Freetronics products directory. This is my Eagle directory. Look at this. It just goes on and on and on. Now what did I have here? So this is things like donkey. Oh, that was the donkey car. Ah, memories. There we go. EM2. EtherMega 2. I bet I can't even open Eagle anymore. Well, maybe I can. Maybe. Is it doing anything? I don't see Eagle opening. I don't see it even trying to open. Like normally there's a little, oh, yeah, it is trying. It is trying to open. This is going to be quite a shock because it wants me to sign in. Authenticate. Okay. I want to see what Eagle looks like because it's been so long since I've used it that verifying password. Okay, I have to pull up. I have to pull up my password file. And then it's going to want to do two-factor authentication, I'm sure, as well, just to be annoying. I hope this isn't on a screen that's being shared with you. Signing in. Okay, signing in. Yeah, I'm not even, this is interesting, I'm not even sure. Oh yeah, it's sending me an SMS. There we go. What is it? Where'd the SMS go? 895 is my OTP code. Yeah, I am genuinely curious to see how discombobulated I am in Eagle and how different it is compared to the way Fusion has become and the way KiCad works. All right. On June 7th, 2026, Eagle will no longer be available. Okay, so I've got another year. And here we've got the Ether Mega design. And I've got, yeah, it kind of looks familiar. Some things are still kind of the same. Update manage libraries. Oh yeah, it's going to be so out of date. Okay, let's do that. What does it want to... Oh, you can see there's a part here that isn't routed. It's just hanging off the board. Okay, what libraries? Because these are all... Spark Fun. Yeah, let's update that Spark Fun library. Oh, I'm still fetching library updates. Are these ones that it just doesn't have? I think they must be. Okay, let's update that. Oh, how do I do this? Oh, I select it. I see. I click the update button. That's how it works. And, oops. Let's try selecting those and then click update all. And then we'll take a quick squiz at Ether Mega 2, which was never produced. I can't even remember if I... Pete says ding. Pete, stop dinging. I can't remember if I actually made any prototypes of the Ether Mega 2. I may have. I was doing that work sometime around the time the chipocalypse was happening. Updated? Yes, all up to date. So there were problems with a couple of parts on it. There were big problems with the ATmega 2560. Oh, those colors are horrible. Is that only a 2-layer board? I think it is. Top and bottom, yeah, it's only 2 layers. And the color selection, it looks like it's gone to default color selections. How do I get to... This is such a memory tease. In Eagle, how do I get to layer configuration? Layers? I can select the layer there. Oh, layer settings, there we go. Top, let's change the colors to something sensible. We'll go for like the default red color. Yep, and on the bottom, oh, that was the bottom layer I had selected. No, bottom should be blue. Probably a lighter blue than that, but still, oh no, that'll do. And that will make the default red. Yes, yes, yes. And T-place will make like pale grey. Yes. Then it looks a little more like the traditional colouring. But let's get rid of... Now, where is the layer view list? How do I... Oh, okay, I've got to come into here. It's not like a... Yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to turn off T-place and B-place. That was Pete's ding again, because iOS notifies you a second time if you don't do anything the first time with the first notification. So yeah, it's got the ATmega 2560 over here, which became pretty much unobtainable. And also this is the, let's turn on values, T values, there we go. That's the WizNet chip, which I think became pretty much unobtainable as well. W5500, yeah, so the Ether Mega 2, which is what we're looking at here, had a couple of changes. I was switching it over to use the 5500 instead of the WizNet W5100, which was on the original design. And I also switched it to USB-C. And what was I doing up here? And what is that? What trace is that? Oh, that's a 5K one. Ah, I see. Yeah, I was adding... Ooh, let's see if I screwed up and did the... Oh no, there's a 5K one there. Okay, so that was the point I was at, was the very last change. It was adding the 5K one pull-down resistors on the charge current sense lines. So I was almost finished routing. I could, if I, let's get rid of that. I was just finding somewhere for this to fit. So I could have stuck it in here somewhere, maybe about there. And then for symmetry, bring that to about there. And then route to, where's shift? There, that. And then that is probably approximately one air wire. Where's the air wire? Somewhere. Anyway, there's not much point doing any of this. Oh, it's got that big old regulator there, which I probably wouldn't use now. Also, I would change this voltage regulator, the switch mode regulator, which I think was the EUP3476 from memory. Where's the, let's rip up. That, okay. What part is that? That is, yeah, EUP3476. What I would do these days, if I was redesigning this, is replace that. So replace the inductor, replace the EUP and a few other parts. And I would put a 38020 on there instead. There's a whole lot of space there. A lot of unused space. Oh, little proto area. That's right, it had an SD card underneath, I think. Or was it on top? No, it's on top. There it is. Right there. Anyway, enough reminiscing. I'm going to save that so that it has a modification date of 2025. Let's have a look at the schematic. I'm curious to see. I want to see what the schematics from back in the olden days looked like. Oh, it was 4 sheets on 1 page. That's right. That was the trick, or the hack, to get around the sheet limitation in Eagle. Because for people that didn't have a pro license for Eagle, you could only make a single sheet schematic. So the way to get around that is you would just put multiple sheets, like multiple pages, all on the same sheet. You'd have a huge sheet and frames around it with the, like for the A4 size. And then if you have the correct spacing between them, like this, when it gets paginated, you can tell it to end up as 4 sheets. So if I go to print, and you see if I don't scale it, then it squeezes all 4 onto a single page. But if I do, if I remove that page limit and make that 0, and then change the scale factor to 1, you can see that what it's going to do, in fact, if I make it 1.2, no, 1.1 maybe, there was some scale factor where if you got it just right, you would end up with, oh yeah, borders, we could fix that. Yeah, you would end up with 4 nice, nicely scaled pages. Alignment center, area full. Yeah, it was about that anyway. So the result was that you could get around Eagle's single schematic limitation by putting multiple schematic pages on 1 page. Oh, there's the start of the USB conversion. Yes. Oh, yeah, it's a slightly messy looking schematic. From a long, long time ago. Memories. Okay, let's get off that. And off that. And off that. And close that and get back to chat. wrote a sketch for it. Oh, what? From the Stephen W says, AI can reverse passwords from the noise of the key presses in videos. I am not entirely surprised. That's interesting. I think it would have trouble from copying and pasting, which is what I just did. And I wonder if it would be able to handle something like a Dvorak keyboard layout. So what I have right in front of me right now is a Software Shock split keyboard with Dvorak layout. So the timing on the key presses will be different, and the sounds would be different to a regular QWERTY keyboard. But that is really scary. No, I do not want to do that. DIY is here. And Simon just popping in to say hello from SLO, California. What is SLO? SLO? Oh, okay, so we have here John Nelson, Celtic Beast, Johnny Bergdahl, Andrew Brown, Gavin Jackson, Jordan Reese, DIY in the Ghetto, and Simon have all joined the chat. Tell Grok to prove it. Michael says, I've seen network data calculated from the flashes of the activity LED on the network card. Jack's Tech, chocolate souffle keyboard. Yeah, not quite. Not quite. Okay, Wagonline says, I wrote a sketch to make an RTC run on Mars time. My goal was to know when the rover was facing Earth. Yeah. How did you make an RTC run on Mars time? So Mars has the 37-minute or 42-minute or whatever it is time slip compared to Earth. It's, you would know, so Wagon Loads, if you can remember, what is the time delta between an Earth day and a Mars day? My vague memory is that it's somewhere around the 40-ish minutes time. So like a Mars day is 20 hours and 40 minutes long or something. Crispian says, Imi was up late last night seeing a band in Melbourne. What band did you see in Melbourne? I want to know. What did you see? Yeah, this is interesting. Wagon Loads. Grok took a screenshot of my KiCad diagram and wrote a sketch for it. And Stephen W. wanted to know if it worked, but that is interesting. Stephen W. says, I've tried that before and it looks great, but it didn't work. I asked Grok if I upload pictures of a PCB, it could create a circuit diagram of it, and it said if the pictures are good enough, it can. Yes. Oh. Short stack. Okay. I'm not familiar with short stack. Let's see. Short stack. It was... Okay. Ooh. I guess... Oh, Mars is plus 36 minutes. Okay, thanks, Pete. So I guess short stack? This one? This one? Okay, so she went to the short stack concert. Awesome. That would be fun. Tour. The Asta, 7 p.m. June 20th? So that's this coming... Oh, that's Perth. Okay, so they are on their way to Perth right now. Oh, Jack's Tech is here. Hello, Jack's Tech. Okay. So, NSA Firewalk. Oh, I think I've heard of that one before. Stephen W. says, if you want a cool network socket-related piece of hardware squirrel, look up the NSA Firewalk. It's a microprocessor inside a network socket. Yeah, I remember hearing stories about that. It's we can look it up right now, but my memory tells me that what it is an Ethernet socket, like an 8P8C or RJ45 connector, with a microcontroller inside it, so that it can do things with network data passing through it. Hang on, cough time. So if you install that network socket onto a board that doesn't need to know anything about it, then you've got yourself a hardware backdoor into the network traffic for that board. So let's see, NSA Firewalk, Crypto Museum. Yeah, here we go. For those of you who are interested in this sort of thing, although more on the software side, a podcast that I recommend is Darknet Diaries by Jack Resider, who is one of the well-known DEF CON people. For many years now, he's been doing a podcast, which is like the blurb is Tales from the Dark Side of the Internet, and it's all about hacking and cybersecurity and fun things like that. And it may be on one of his episodes that I heard about this. Oh, standard RJ45 socket, so that's not a picture of the real thing. Firewalk is a code name developed around 2007 on behalf of the NSA, implanted into the RJ45 socket, blah blah, and it can intercept bidirectional gigabit Ethernet traffic and inject data packets into the target network. The implant is housed inside a regular stacked RJ45 twin USB socket. This reminds me of bad USB, and for those of you who haven't heard of bad USB, you should go and check it out, and then be scared of plugging anything into your computer ever again. 2 LEDs inside of the Ethernet transformer, in some cases even an Ethernet PHY. Somewhere and replace NSA was able to manipulate the standard off-the-shelf part, probably somewhere in the supply chain or directly at the factory, and replace the internal electronics by a miniature ARM9 FPGA computer platform named Trinity. It's also got a miniature wideband radio frequency transceiver to bypass firewall or air gap protection. Yeah, that is cool. Disclosed other than by an unidentified party. Okay. Yeah, that sort of stuff is cool. Oh, Imi says, the bass was pretty intense. It was a fun night. 15th anniversary of their first album. Okay. Mitch says, SLO is San Luis Obispo. I drove through on the way to see a night launch from Vandenberg. Ah. The land turtle from Hack 5 is effectively the civilian version of it. Okay. Look up land turtle. It's the same idea, but hidden in a USB LAN adapter. Right. Yeah, that would give you a bit more space to work with. Hardware version of Stuxnet. Yeah, if you were doing a USB to Ethernet adapter, that would be a right place to do it, because you don't have to work within the constraints of an existing physical design, and there is an expectation that there is going to be electronics in there. I mean, if you're converting from USB to Ethernet and you buy a device that does that, you fully expect that there is going to be a microcontroller, there's going to be an Ethernet PHY, there's going to be all sorts of stuff inside that enclosure. So even if you opened it and examined it, it wouldn't come as a shock. You'd open it and you'd look at it and go, yeah, it's got a microcontroller and stuff in there. Of course it does. That's part of what it needs. Which is very different to if you've got an RJ45 socket and you open it and you discover there's a microcontroller in there. That would make you go, hey, hang on, this isn't meant to be here, what's going on? Yeah, doing that inside a USB LAN adapter, that is a prime place to do it. Okay, I need, once again, to cough and coffee. Michael says, hiding in plain sight. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Now I want to, yeah, I want to hit play on some short stack to, oh, listen, but I don't want to get myself copyright infringed, because I want to see what sort of music they play. Okay. Also the OMG cable, yes. Okay, so quit out of Eagle. I think that's the sensible thing to do right now. I am also going to close the window I had with my password for Autodesk. My desktop background has been doing something strange recently. See how it's all black? For some reason, it switches between just being black and having my proper desktop picture, and I don't know why. Hang on, I'm going to try switching. Oh, I don't even know how to do it. Left, Shift Command Left. Oh, one thing that I did, getting onto, like, kind of vaguely onto the topic. Crispian says, I love a black desktop. Yeah, well, I normally have like black terminals and things as well. CD. Okay, what I've been messing around a little bit with the keyboard, and Control R. That. Okay. Is this the right one? Yes. That. I want to. So what I've done is I have. Oh, I'm going to quit out of that. Let's have a look in here and get some more zoomage happening. And keyboards, no, softly, no, I'm still figuring out where things are on this keyboard. Softly chalk, keymaps, SE. So I made this layout called Softly Chalk Dvorak, and I think it's in keymap. Boop. Keymap, there. So what I did was, that's the original QWERTY. So what I did was copy the original layout by Brian Lowe, and then I modified it. So I've got the original QWERTY layout here, and it's just commented out. And then what I did was make this variant, and mod 1, is that it? Yeah, that is mod 1. I just wasn't sure if I had it up to date. So this is the key map that I'm currently working with. Is it? Yes, it is. That is the most recent one. And I was getting very frustrated because okay, so I've got mod 1. I've got multiple layers. In fact, what I should do is do a version of this that shows the other layers. So the mod 1 key, which is here, is my layer 1. So this is currently layer 0, what you're seeing here. If I press down the mod 1 key, M1, which I currently am with my left thumb, then, and you see how I'm moving the cursor around, I am doing that with the CH, T, and N keys. So the C is up, T is down, H is left, N is right. And that is home row keys for my right hand. So to use the cursor, what I do is I push down mod 1 with my left thumb, and then I just use my right hand and I can move around. So that becomes left and right arrow. And I discovered something really annoying, really annoying, which was that I was working on some stuff on my bench. I had a computer, I had a micro plugged in. What was it? I can't remember what I was working on. It doesn't matter. I had a microcontroller board plugged in with a programmer, and I was flashing it through, like I was uploading new firmware through a programmer, through a, what was it? I think it was to an ATmega 4809, so it was like a UPDI upload through a UPDI adapter. And it was in my history. Oh no, it wasn't. It was to an ESP32S3 using, but I was doing it off the command line because I was doing development in ESP-IDF. And what I needed to do was repeatedly go up arrow and then enter, because I wanted to just keep doing the same command over and over again. And I was doing it while holding probes on the board, so I needed to be able to reach over and do it with one hand. And I discovered that I did not have like a dedicated up arrow key. I got myself all set up. I reached over to the keyboard with my left hand to press up arrow, and there was no up arrow. And the only way to get up arrow is with two hands, because you've got to press the mod key with your left thumb, and then press the C key with your right finger to do up arrow. And anyway, there is a point to this story. I will get to it. There is a happy outcome. Okay, so I had a couple of keys here, which were, I had them as right control and right GUI, but I never used them for that purpose, because I use control and GUI and alt over here on the left side. I never use them on the right. So what I did was I remapped these, and I made these dedicated up and down arrow keys, so that at least I could do up arrow enter with one hand. I could just reach over, go up, enter. And I could do that while I had, so say I'm sitting at my workbench, I have my right hand on the board or whatever project I'm working on. Maybe I'm holding an oscilloscope probe on a trace or something like that. I can reach over and up arrow and enter on commands on the keyboard. So that took care of my up and down arrow needs, but it didn't take care of left and right arrow needs. And then this is when the happy sort of coincidence comes in. So this key here is not actually a key. Well, it kind of is. If you press it in, it's mute. This is a rotary encoder. And the way I've got it set up, if you turn the knob on it, that's the volume control. And if you press it, it's mute and unmute. So I can control, like if I, I've got the focus on the wrong thing, but the little on-screen volume control is moving if I turn that knob. But it's on the other monitor, so you can't see it. And in fact, I wonder if you can see it if I go to, where is, oh yeah, there, okay. Yeah, you can see there. If I turn the knob, you can see the volume changing, and if I press it, you'll see that it mutes and unmutes. Okay, that is all good. So that was fine. And then on the left, see, this is another rotary encoder. And if you press it, it's play pause. So if I've got, say, a YouTube video or something playing and I press pause, if I press that one, it stops. In fact, if I play this, what's going to happen? Probably that short stack will start playing. Let's see. Yeah, see? So I click that and it plays or pauses. Oh, and again. It plays or pauses whatever media playback is currently relevant. But I didn't have the knob mapped to anything. So turning the knob didn't actually do anything. And then I had this idea, this crazy, crazy idea, that what if I took the knob and mapped that to left and right arrow keys? So I did that. So down here, I've got the left side is, so this is encoder counterclockwise, clockwise. and it is key code right and key code left. Now, because it's backwards, so it's the right first and then the left second. It looks kind of backwards, but it works fine. So if you turn the knob clockwise, it goes, whoops, it sends the right, all right, let's get back down there. It sends the right key press, and if you turn the knob left, it turns the left key press. And I thought, that's kind of cool. So it means that I can move. In fact, if I let go of that keyboard now, I'm just going to turn the knob. So I am now turning the knob on the keyboard and it's moving the cursor left and right. I'm not holding down any modifier keys. So now with the two dedicated up and down arrow keys and the knob, I can navigate through with no modifiers. Okay, and at first I thought, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. And it's actually really strangely satisfying to scroll along with a proper knob, not just with a button. Instead of just pressing left and right, like repeatedly pressing right arrow to move right, you just turn a knob. And the faster you turn, the faster you move. Or you can turn it slowly and move a step at a time. So you can sort of zoom in on an area, go, oh, I want to go over there, and then get to the particular ladder you want. But the tactile nature of controlling this with a knob is really cool. It's kind of satisfying. But then
Pete said, your face is a proper knob.
yeah, I know. You're a proper knob, Pete. So it's really satisfying. But then this is the bonus that I was not expecting, which is, I'm going to bring short stack back up here. Oh, it's not going to work in that context. I'm going to open this on YouTube, pause that. Yeah, okay, here we go. Check this out. I'm going to bring up short stack on here. Okay, so now the side effect of having the play pause button on the left, if I click this in, so I can play pause by clicking it, and having that mapped to left and right arrow means that in videos and things, if I now turn that knob to the right, it's like a scrub button. I can jump through videos by turning the knob. Like this is just, I can, jump to a specific place and then press play and jump back, press play. So I can move to different locations within the video by turning the physical knob on the keyboard. So I've got volume control on the right knob with mute, unmute, and I've got seek effectively on the left knob with play pause. So that was a very happy coincidence. I thought it was really cool when I found that because I had thought that having left and right keys under the left knob was just an interesting little hack to be able to scroll without having dedicated keys on the keyboard. And then it just works out so well. New drinking game. Every time John says knob. So the reason to get back to editing videos, yeah. It was just such a bonus anyway. My space bar pauses vids on my keyboard. Yeah, mine does too, Wagon Loads. So it does, it does. But the drink is coffee. New drinking, yes. And then we will be all running around like squirrels. Whew. Now, where are we? Okay, so what I had been thinking of today, now that we're nearly an hour in, is Pete says my hammer pauses videos. Yeah. was getting some firmware onto Pancake Legend's keyboard, Andrew Nielsen's keyboard. So that's the one that I started assembling. Death by caffeine poisoning. Yeah, that could be an outcome. So other people I haven't explicitly said hello to yet. Dodgy Brothers is here. Andrew Ruthven, David T, Stephen George have all joined the chat. Anyway, what I was wanting to do was sorry, I have just been distracted again by the YouTube window, which is down on the other screen, and I want to hit play on this video. But Imi, that looks like it would have been a fun event. Lots of energy there. Where am I? Where am I? I don't know where I am. Yeah, that's right. So what I was going to do was, or what I was thinking of doing. Hang on, what happened then? Dong, says Peter. More messages from Pete. All right. Keyboards. Ls. Let's see. Is there an There's an MK65. So what I was looking for was, is there an existing layout that would apply to Pancake Legends' keyboard? Maybe. I know that he provided a custom layout, so maybe the thing to do is to find which of these keyboard types it fits into. I was just wondering whether there was an MIT keyboard specifically, because he's got his is listed as the PL for Pancake Legend _ MIT something, MIT 65. Stephen W. Yeah. I am not going to touch his tralala. Make rotary knob move the video forward and back. You did, yeah. So, what am I doing? PL. I assume there is no PL in here. PL. Oh, there are some PL. There won't be like a PL MIT 65. Also, I have someone. That was a noisy car.
Pete said, yes, there is. Here I am.
Okay. Oh, PL, yes. As in Peter Lawler. It didn't even occur to me that Pancake Legend and Peter Lawler. Yes. So the what am I doing? Okay. What I was thinking of doing was, last time I had Pancake's keyboard here on the stream, I was messing around with, I got to the point of messing around with firmware. Wagonload says, can I do that with an optical rotary encoder on a HID Arduino? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely you can. Yeah, for sure. That is almost what this is doing, except that it's, well, is it optical? No, it's not optical. It's a mechanical rotary encoder, but same thing. Sorry, what I was saying is I've got someone coming to pick up the server rack. Many of you who have been to the barbecue will have seen that big server rack that is sitting currently just inside the roller door that I've been trying to get rid of for a while. And for some reason, so it's been on Facebook Marketplace for a couple of months now. And then for some reason, within the space of a day, I had maybe 5 people send inquiries about it. And Ooh, Crispian says, I'm envious, didn't go, she had VIP ticks. Ooh, how'd you get those? Nimi said, yes, they were awesome. Cool. Yeah, I had a whole lot of people. I don't know what happened. For some reason, my ad got shown higher in the algorithm or something on Marketplace. Or all of a sudden, a whole lot of people wanted to buy server racks on the same week. In any case, I have someone coming at 12 or just after to pick it up, which means that if he turns up early, he could end up arriving before the stream ends. Now, the Pancake Legend, here we go. I'm going to bring this back up. Oh, I'll bring this down so that I can see it. Otherwise, I'm going to obscure it. And we've got keymap or MIT ortholinear, or is it the PL60? It is the MIT ortho. Okay, raise and lower keys access different layers on the keyboard. Yep. So I've got, oh, so bright, yeah. I went from black background to traditional white background. Too early on a Sunday. You need more coffee, Crispian. Caffeinate. Also, is there any update on your mum and how she's going? I hope that she's going well and recovering. And I'm only mentioning that on the stream because you mentioned it last week, so I'm not revealing anything personal that would not already have been revealed. I hope. I hope I'm not doxing your mum's medical issues because you already did it. PL60. What is the PL60 keyboard? No, oh no, that's Pancake Legend. That's not the ortholinear one. That's the one that has the staggered keys. And the MIT ortholinear is this one, which is the one that I got as a kit. Ah, Crispian says, Mum is in rehab, likely to be discharged today or tomorrow. Well, I'm glad that she's being discharged. That's a good sign. And I didn't realize that she had been in rehab all that time. So, yeah, please say hi to her for me and pass on my best wishes. So, Andrew said, the RFID reader on my DIY smart cat flap that read the chip in our previous cat without issue doesn't read our current cat's chip at all. Ooh, that is interesting. I wonder if it's the difference between 125 kilohertz and 134.2 kilohertz chips, because they use the basic pet ID chips use the same protocol, I think, but Australia is in a strange situation where some pets are implanted with the EU standard, like the international standard chips, which are at 134.2 kilohertz, and some are implanted with the oddball US chips, which are 125 kilohertz, because they can't possibly follow international standards. Mike says, maybe your cat needs a firmware update. Yeah. Yeah. Crispian says, this is talking about his mum, she has demonstrated ability to get up from the ground and walk 200 meters, and her speech has recovered almost normal. Oh, that's very good news. Yeah. Getting up off the ground, that's a hard thing. Walking 200 meters is no small feat either. So that's good. Cats use furware, not firmware. Black cat hacker. Could also be chip placement. What frequency are cut RFID tags? Now I want to scan cats. Asked Wagon Loads. Yeah, Crispian says she is 87. Yeah, well, that's right. For someone who is 87, anyone who is 87, getting up off the ground, walking 200 meters is pretty decent, let alone someone who has recently had a stroke. So that's very impressive. And yes, I know that she is super fit. A CAT scan. Yeah, so Wagonloads asks, what frequency? Okay, pet tags, which includes cats, according to the international standard, should be at 134.2 kilohertz, but the US deviated, of course, from the international standard and uses 125 kilohertz, which is close, but not quite close enough. And you can, if you have a reader for 125 kilohertz and you try to scan a 134 kilohertz chip or vice versa, typically what can happen is that the field from the reader will energize the chip, but they won't be able to communicate properly. And if you have if you scan the RF, so if you've got like a near field probe or whatever the thingy is that's used for doing that, you can get the chip to energize because there is energy being induced in its pickup coil, which then powers up the IC that is on the chip, but then the modulation doesn't match, and so communication doesn't happen properly. So in Australia, some pets have 125 kilohertz chips, some have 134.2 kilohertz chips, which is very, very annoying. And the expensive commercial readers that you buy, like the ones that vets use, support multiple protocols and multiple frequencies, so they can check at different frequencies, and it makes them kind of universal. Reads both cats. Oh, okay. Andrew says the reader only supports 134.2 according to its spec. Little handheld reader reads both cats and suggested they were the same spec. Okay. Wagonload says hang your own RFID tag on the cat that your reader can read. Like on a collar. Many collars are a problem for many cats. Some cats accept collars and some just absolutely will not. You'll put a collar on, 30 seconds later it's off, and you just cannot keep it on. So that may or may not work. All right, so anyway, my point was, last time I was looking at this, this was before I had built the Software Choc keyboard, and then to get the software working, I had to solve all of the firmware problems. I had to actually figure out all of the QMK setup stuff, which I have since done. So I now have the QMK build environment set up here. So QMK, for reference, is the firmware that runs on the microcontroller in the keyboard. And there are other things like there's ZMK and other firmwares you can run, but QMK is the super popular one that, as you can see, supports many, many keyboards. So these are the keyboard types that are supported, built into the it just keeps going, that are built into the QMK release. And then inside each of these, like this is a, whatever these are, each one of these is a keyboard type, and then within each one of those there can be multiple key maps. So what you see here is just the tip of the iceberg. This represents far more key layouts than what you would see here. So what we need is a keyboard that has the same mapping of keys, like in terms of the I/O pins and all of that sort of thing, and then we apply an overlay to set the keys to the correct thing. Michael says, my cat hates anything foreign on her. Even patting her in gloves is a problem, so no collar. But she's inside only, so not a massive problem. Yeah. Andrew says, before chipping the previous cat, tried a collar with a fob. Longest a collar lasted was a couple of weeks. Yeah, well, a couple of weeks is still pretty impressive for a cat collar. Okay, so yeah, anyway, back at the time that we were looking at Pancake Legend's keyboard and I was being puzzled by what I needed to do next, I hadn't yet gone through the process of setting up all of the wake up. Yep. I hadn't yet gone through the process of setting up all of the software for the keyboard. But now that I've done
Pete
that,
said, "Wake up, John."
yeah, thanks, Pete. Now that I've done that, I should be able to do this part. So, for the last little part of the live stream, given that I've wasted more than half of it with blathering about random things, I've got some options of what I can do. I could pull out Pete's keyboard and have a go at this. I'm very tempted to do that. I think that might be a useful thing to do because I don't want to stall on that keyboard. I want to finish it, get it all sorted, and get it listed in the Vile repository. Not wasted, just chasing squirrels, says Crispian. So let's figure this out. Programming guide. Yeah, so what this has got is using the keyboard firmware builder website, uploading the key map. This is the firmware builder for QMK, I think. Keyboard firmware builder. Paste your layout here or import. Yeah, so this is the firmware builder for QMK. I don't want to use the firmware builder. I want to see if I can, flashing the firmware, I want to try to set it up in end user builds, I'm not sure. Pete says, leave my keyboard alone. No. I am not leaving your keyboard alone, PL. Firmware files, located in code tab, key map and firmware files. Upload the key map file for your keyboard to the key, yeah. Okay, change that. Let's have a look in the code section. Firmware. What do we have? So we've got a hex file, and I think it's the PLMIT is the one we want. So there's a JSON, which is the layout. Now, what happened was, oh, Mr. Fixit is here. Mr. Fixit says hi, back home from the hospital with a new heart valve and a great attitude. Yes, Mr. Fixit is back. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Fixit has been not very well and has just had heart surgery. Yes, and has posted about it a bit on Facebook, which is how I know some of the backstory to it. Yes, once again, hopefully I am not revealing anything that you would rather keep. Here, Mr. Fixed, says Michael. I don't want to reveal anything about medical situations that you don't want to be revealed. I will only comment on things that are already public knowledge. But since you said in your chat, back with a new heart valve, once again, I'm not revealing anything too personal, I hope. Yes, Mr. Fixit, it is really good to see you back in the chat. So what we've got here is a JSON file. This is the key map. So this is the actual hex file. Let's see. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Fixit. No problem, it's open knowledge. Yeah, because you'd been posting about it on Facebook, I assumed that it wasn't too private. Now, MIT, I've got a hex file, I've got a JSON file. So we've got two paths that we can follow. The first path is to grab the hex file and try to upload it directly to the microcontroller. and that would probably work. The other path, yeah, hang on. I'm just gonna go somewhere in Control R, no, Control R, Control R, R. Okay, where is the flash? Okay, keymap.c to that. Keymap. What I'm doing is just looking back through my history. Config, because there is a converter thingamajigamy. Where is it? Where is it? Let's have a look at... Alright, sorry, I'm not really explaining myself. I was trying to explain myself, but I'm doing a poor job. In order to explain myself, I need to bring up a... it is QMK convert JSON JSON keymap. Let's see what I can find. App for converting. Okay. Configure that, download that from into the thing. Okay. I wonder if this is the one I used. Please upload. Okay, I think this might be it. Now, alright, now that I am prepared, I am going to, at least I think I am going to explain myself just a little. So, what happens here is we have two things related to this particular keyboard. There's the PLMIT V10 hex. That is compiled firmware that I should be able to upload directly to the microcontroller and have it work. But then I can't reconfigure it because it's already compiled. What I have here is Andrew's JSON, which defines the keys. So this is the configuration that maps, and what you'll see, okay, it's all one big line, which makes it kind of hard to read. But anyway, what you'll see here is a whole bunch of things. If this was formatted as multiple lines, you would see ID, KC, TRNS. Oh, let's find one that makes more sense. That's TRNS. Okay, here we go. KC stands for key code F3. So that is the F3 or function 3 key code, and it's been mapped to a particular thing. So if you scroll through this, you'll see that this defines all of the different possible key codes and which buttons they are mapped to in terms of the I/O pins that are connected into the keyboard. So now that I've copied that, if I paste that into here, upload a JSON. Oh, okay. Please upload a JSON file. Let's move that out of the way temporarily, and I'm going to download the raw file, and then in here I'm going to go to downloads, but I'm going to do it off screen. Go by date added. Date added. There we go. PLMIT. Alright, an error has occurred. Okay. Something went wrong. Check your logs or contact the app author for clarification. Where are the logs? Show me the logs. Show me the logs. Alright. Maybe that converter, either the converter doesn't do the job or the format file. Okay, let's do that thing again. QMK. Convert JSON keymap. See, I like commands. Okay. Convert. Usage. Command F. JSON. I am still very much getting used to creates a compile. No, that's not it. Keymap. I am still very much getting used to the columnar layout on this split keyboard, because even though I've used a split keyboard for 20-ish, more than 20 years, the ones I've used in the past have had staggered keys. Like they've been horizontally staggered like a traditional keyboard, and the Software Choc has vertical columns. So it's not ortholinear, it's not a grid. The columns are vertically offset relative to each other, but they are columns. And I have particular problems with the Q. I don't know what that is on a normal keyboard. I've got a normal keyboard here somewhere. Yeah, the ones down around the bottom left, like on a regular keyboard it would be Z, X, C, V, you know, those keys. On a normal keyboard, because the rows are, like each row staggers across a little bit, it offsets, so that the Z key, for example, is almost underneath the W key. That is not the case on a vertical, on a columnar keyboard. So the Z key is directly below the Q on my new keyboard, on the Software Choc. And the result is that whenever I try to type anything that involves Q, like QMK, I keep hitting J, or if I try to type J, I hit K by mistake, or, well, actually those don't make any sense to you because I'm talking about letters on Dvorak, but yeah. Anyway, whenever I'm trying to type things in the bottom left part of the keyboard, I keep mistyping because everything is offset horizontally compared to where my muscle memory says the keys should be. Usage for keymaps. Keymap. All right. What I'm looking for is a way of converting the JSON into a .c file. QMK find, console, format JSON. Format's a JSON file. No, that's not what I want. It's close, kind of close. QMK JSON.c can create from a QMK configuration. Creates a JSON from a keymap.c. That is so close. I want to create a keymap.c from a JSON file. C to JSON. Sorry, what I should do is put this up here. This is what I'm looking through. It's the documentation for QMK lint, list keymaps, new keymap, no. Although I probably will want to do that. Via to JSON, no. Oh yeah, via. I think via is another, yeah. Via is another thing that we need to investigate. Import keymap. Oh no, that just imports a thing, but it doesn't convert it into a .c file. Somewhere around here, external user space commands. User space remove, no. User space list. Sorry, I'm going to use the trackpad for clicking instead of the trackball. Generate RGB breathable table. Generate compilation database. Keymap, adding default keymaps. List keymaps, new keymap, import keymap. Alright. I don't know where I found it. Somewhere, somehow, I don't remember how I did it. I took a JSON file and converted it into a keymap. Then editing the keymap.c is a little bit painful. Oh, excuse me. But, print, filter, no, format. And I don't know where it is in my command history. Let's come back to here. Global, and I'm going to do QM. Oh, I did JM again. QMK and JSON. Is that going to give me anything? No. It's a good thing I'm doing this off screen because my history has just revealed a whole lot of passwords. I don't know where it was. QMK. Oh, hang on. QMK JSON to C. Ah, there it is. There it is. I found the command. Okay. QMK JSON to C. PLMIT dot JSON, and sorry, I'm just going to prepare something here so that now if I go up arrow, does it do it? Up arrow. JSON to C. Okay, I think I've got it. All right. Now, let's come back to where was it? Here, Pancake Legends is stuff, and go back to the wiki because I've now downloaded that JSON. So I want to convert that to a C file. Now I'm going to go, but I don't know which keyboard to use as the starting point. Changing the key map. Do that, do that. Okay, I might as well start with this. Keyboard Firmware Builder website. Oh, I already had it open. All right, upload that. Okay, so it's got the definition there. 8 by 6. Change.
Pete said COFFE.
Yes, yes, I need that. It's getting really cold in here too. No, actually, it's not getting colder. I'm getting cold. All right, so we've got pins. It's all set. Key map. Blah blah blah. Macros. Quantum settings. Compile. Okay. So this defines the way all of the keys are set up in terms of the matrix. So you can see that it's
Pete
staggered.
Said, hey folks, don't forget to dislike, unsubscribe, turn off your viewing device, and go have a nap.
I'd like to go and have a nap. Change the position. Oh, okay. It says kbfirmware.com is end of life. Oh well, not officially related. So, all right, got that. Pins, key map, blah, 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 compile. So we could download the hex file from there. But this doesn't really help. All right, I'm going to try Keyboard Firmware Builder, QMK Firmware. Let's just go to the QMK Firmware site. And does this have an online thing? Official documentation. Oh, that's such a fun thing to say. Raison d'être. I just like saying that. Name. Okay, so this is adding a keyboard. Include the default key map. Name the C after the parent. Do not include the make files. Okay. Documentation, general guidelines, coding conventions. All right. Now, is there an online tool listed here? Build, compile, troubleshooting, key map FAQ. Okay. What are the default key codes? Make custom names for complex key codes. Yeah. The more I look into this, the more I'm thinking I'll just try to upload the hex file. Okay, build, compile, erase, force. Okay, sudo dfu programmer, force, flash, blah. Yeah, I can try this. What I will have to do though, yeah, in fact, let's just do this. Let's grab, we'll come to here, we'll go back to here. I'll grab, no, that's right, I was in code. It was in code, firmware, PLMIT, I want this one. And then let's just download it. Download raw file. So PLMIT v1 hex is what I want. And yeah, I want to do essentially that. So let's see if this works. Now, to do this, I'm going to need to unplug my existing keyboard because I do not want to mess it up. I don't want to upload to that. I want to upload to Pancake's keyboard, which is somewhere. Where did I got it out. Oh, there it is. I got out the box and stuck it on the floor. So I got keycaps there for it. I've got the kit. It's been a few weeks now, so oh, interesting. My that is actually a real problem. My my Stream Deck, because I opened Eagle, it has switched to my old profile. Let's see, Stream Deck. I'm going to switch it to Companion. Nope. Wrong Stream Deck. Oh no. Finder. Okay, I'm going to leave that one on Finder. How do I configure the other Stream Deck? That is... I'm going to switch that. Oh, that Stream Deck. Default profile. Okay, that doesn't work. I've actually lost Companion. I'm going to have to try going into the... I'm going to quit Companion and open it again, and hopefully that way it'll take over the Stream Deck again. And then I'll be able to switch cameras. It hasn't. Launch GUI, buttons, surfaces, Stream Deck, it says is offline. How do I get my Stream Deck back? I want to switch to the, yeah, okay. I'm just going to have to do this using the web management thing. Is this going to work? Oh, let's see, that camera needs to be turned on. So that camera's got to be turned on. Surfaces, let's go to, can I do this through, that really messed me up. Oh, web buttons, that's what I want. Okay, let's see if this works. Will this switch cameras? Yes, it does. Very good. Move the microscope out of the way. Okay, so this is Pancake Legend's keyboard in a partly assembled state, and it has the Arduino Micro, or whatever it is, on there. So this is the microcontroller that we want to flash with the QMK firmware. So I want to upload the hex file to this. And then if I short across any of these connections, we should get key presses coming out. So to do that, let's, okay, I need to find a, there we go. I need a micro USB cable, which I now have. plug this in. Oh, excuse me. I'll plug that into the hub over my workbench. Take this out and see if this will fit. Looks like it does. Oh, and it's alive. The little LED is on in there. So now we have his board plugged in, and I need to try to get that hex file flashed onto it. So here we go, back to here, and all right, I've got to stop and think. I've got to unplug my main keyboard. All right, so my soft blade shock is now unplugged. My original Microsoft Surface keyboard is now plugged in again. Yeah, well, it's wireless, it's not plugged in. I stuck it up on the shelf to get it out of the way so that I could pull it down if I ever needed to access it. So is it working? No. Oh, because the Microsoft dongle is not plugged into my computer. All right, plug that in. Now is it working? Yes. All right. I will get this up visible to you. So I want to do that. I have no idea if it's going to work. Or if DFU programmer, let's see, DF. Oh, my keyboard layout is all messed up because of, yeah, DFU programmer. No, that's not where O is. Where is O? There. DFU programmer. Okay. I'm going to go, in fact, I'm going to switch this to that. Just for my own sanity. Sudo DFU programmer. And then I want 80 mega 32U4. 32U4? 32U4. Yeah, I'm trying to find keys in this keyboard now. And it's going to be in download, oops, not downloads. Down, where am I? Oh, I see, I'm not in the right location. Downloads, and it's going to be PL MIT, no, it's the hex file. Didn't it go into downloads? I thought I just downloaded it. Did I download the raw hex file? Downloads. Oh, maybe I didn't download the raw hex file. Okay. I thought I did. I thought I clicked download raw file. Download. Is it doing it? No. Download raw file. Why is this not? What? Why can't I download this raw hex file? Let's just load the page again and go download raw file. There we go, PLMIT hex. That was weird. That was weird. PLMIT hex. Okay, so this is what we'll do. Let's see if it works. It'll probably explode. Password. What is my password? What happened? Global options. Okay, what did I... Oh, I didn't type flash, I think. What was the command? Flash, yes. I didn't give it an actual command. So, flash, that. No device present. Okay. Oh, maybe that's because I've got to press the reset on it. And is it those two? I think it's those two. Yes. Okay, so to put it into bootloader mode, I need to short the reset pin on the Arduino. So let's see if that works now. Nope. And now, no device present. That's annoying. All right, what about if I do, what was the other command that it was telling me to try? Erase -- force. Okay, erase force. No device present. Okay. No device present. I wonder if this is because I screwed up and put the at some point in the past when I was messing around with this, I think that I removed the bootloader or something from it. I did something silly. Or maybe that was on the other keyboard. I just can't remember. Alright, so the problem is I can't get this one into bootloader mode. Now, Arduino, what is this one? Arduino Pro, I think it's an Arduino Pro Micro? Arduino Pro Micro. Yes. It's one of these. So, bootloader mode. Help! Shorting reset and ground. Okay. Computer recognizes a device as an Arduino Micro. Alrighty. Try AVR dude. Make blah flash. AVR, default AVR dude. May need to have RST shorted to ground twice quickly to actually jump to bootloader. Okay. And Arduino Pro Micro pinout. I just want to make absolutely sure that I am doing the right thing here. So it is reset and ground. Oh, that's not the pins that I was, or is it? Yeah, it is. It's 2 pins that are marked on the PCB. So that's right, that's ground and reset. It's the second one down and the third one down is ground and reset. So if I'll just try double tapping as was suggested there. And then I'll try that.
Outside the box says coffee.
Coffee? Yeah. I'll try a double tap. 1, 2. And then enter. No device present.
Pete said, Imogen say outside say coffee.
What is in dev TTY? Yes, all 45 lines, please. USB modem 84301. If I unplug the keyboard, let's see if that is still there. No, it's gone. So that is the device. My suspicion is that it is running different code now. I think at some point what I probably did was replace the original bootloader. It's probably got something else loaded onto it. So that means
Pete
that...
say Imogen, say outside, say coffee.
What? What? What was that? I don't know. All I heard was the word coffee. I heard Imogen. Now, to do this, to fix this, I need, I think, to get an ICSP adapter and solder jumpers onto the correct pins so that I can then replace the bootloader. Can I specify the port? I don't know. Unknown
Pete
device.
said, say.
USB VID does nothing. Install. Can't program on Linux. No, that's not the issue. Okay. maybe...
Imogen Ann said, finishing my cold coffee right now. It's not iced, just not hot anymore.
Just not hot, yeah. That's the worst type. Room temperature coffee. Coffee is good when it's hot and when it's iced. Not when it's just room temperature. Then it's just blah. That help. I am coming back to here and I'm asking for help. I am really getting cold. So when I arrived this morning, I'd had a shower, so I was nice and warm, came here, and the room seemed like a nice temperature. And now that I've been sitting here for nearly 2 hours, I am really cold. Debug launch erase flash. Is there an option for specifying the port? DF command global options file data target. Okay, so the target can be set by USB bus,
Pete
USB
said,
address,
Pete.
command file / data, read, erase, flash, or set secure, get fuse, set fuse, launch, read program memory, and output non-blank pages in IHEX format. Okay. What we could do is, I'm going to plug this back in. It is possible that the issue is that it's plugged into a USB hub, but I think that's a long shot. HTML32 read, let's just see. No device present, yeah. It is not finding the right device. My suspicion is that this Arduino does not have the original bootloader on it. So it's not going into... Oh, I just heard a sound. I've got to check on something. Oh, no, that's a relief. Sorry, I've had a 3D print running the whole time that I've been doing this stream. And it's a print with 68 individual items on the build plate. And so, in fact, where are we? Temperature, control. Yeah, there are 68 individual items on the build plate. And if any one of them fails, now for some reason the camera is not loading. In fact, I wonder if I'm just going to try reloading the Octoprint interface so that we can see it. Oh, there we go. So this is
Pete
my
said,
Octoprint.
really a print running this whole time. Never would have guessed thunk, were thunk.
Yeah, never would have guessed. And you can see on that little preview that it is an array of 68 identical little things. And if any one of them detaches from the build plate, it screws up the print. And I've had a couple of failed prints as a result of that. But you can see here on the right in the camera view, it is all okay. So that's good. It can continue. What am I doing? Okay. What I was doing was... yeah, well, Andrew asked, does Arduino IDE find that device? Yeah, so that is the next question. Opening Arduino IDE. I suspect it will. I think it'll find it, but it doesn't have the original bootloader. Now, let's see, I've got Arduino IDE open and port Arduino Leonardo. Yes, it sees it. So I've got the OpenKO firmware here, for example, just because, I don't know, I had it open for some reason. And in port, board, Arduino Micro, port is that one. So if In fact, what I'm going to do is sketchbook, no, examples, basics, blink. I'm just going to see if I can write blink to it. I don't even know if there's an LED on a Pro Micro. Let's find out. So I've got an Arduino Micro, AVR boards, Arduino Micro. I've got the supposedly a Leonardo selected. Oh, hang on. I've got another thing plugged in that might be appearing as that device. Let's try that. Now, does it still appear? Yes, it does. Okay, it wasn't that one. So let's just try flashing this to it and we'll see if the upload works. The keyboard is currently plugged in. Uploading, uploaded. Yeah, it thinks that it did an upload. And I don't know if there are any LEDs or there's no LED flashing on it that I can see. But Blink seems to have uploaded. So we do have, let's get rid of that. Let's just try this again. Erase, force, probably say no device. Yeah, no device present. Why does it not think that there is a device present? Yeah, so, okay, so my next step beyond this is to get an ICSP programmer and solder jumper wires onto the bottom of the keyboard, because the thing is, at this point, the Pro Micro is soldered into the keyboard itself. If, oh, now I've got to find my web control thing again. How do I, hang on, I will stick that back up there temporarily. Outside the box, there's not crispy and outside. Mitch asks, can you see a USB device? Yes, there is a USB device. Arduino IDE can see it. We can upload to it through Arduino IDE. It's just that DFU is not seeing it. So I think it's got the wrong bootloader on it. It doesn't have the USB HID bootloader. So if we switch to this view, so this is what we currently have Blink loaded on, but there is no Blink happening. But as a matter of interest, I'm going to do the double thing now. 1, 2, so that should have double reset it, which puts it into bootloader mode, which should mean that that works, but it still says no device present. What if I do a single reset again? Doink. Up and enter, no device present. Yeah, I think that it's got a bootloader on it, but it is not the correct bootloader. It needs to be the one that presents itself as a USB HID by default. It's got like the Arduino serial bootloader on it. And the way to do that, as I said, is to use the ICSP programmer and then go to here and set, come on, and USB ASP and then burn bootloader. But to do that, I've got to solder the connections on for the programmer. Now I had a programmer just over here on the bench somewhere. Where did it go? Somewhere nearby. Oh, there it is, I think. Yes, here's a programmer. I have a programmer right here, which I was using on the other keyboard to get the bootloader onto that. So what do I need to solder on? I need ground, power, ICSP, and reset. There are 6 pins in total. And they go onto there. So that's not ground. That's ground. What? I've got, what was that ping? There was a notification from somewhere. Oh, okay. Now, what I'm doing at the moment is looking at this, trying to figure out trying to figure out. Sorry, that's a client messaging me, but my phone won't go on silent. The pins on this to match up. I'm just wondering, I've got 10 minutes left before I really should stop in case this person arrives to pick up the yeah, that's the client asking me to phone him. No, not right now. I've got to jumper from there. So red, where is red going? Red is going to reset. Yes. Where is brown is going to SCK. I'm trying to look at this in terms of mapping the ICSP pinout on the Pro Micro. I had that open. I had it open. Pro Micro pinout. Here we go. So that is what? I can't read that. TXT, RXI, ground. What? This is not making a whole lot of sense. We've got SCK. Is that SCK? No. I've got to find a better diagram. Oh, raw. Yeah, that's not right. The pinout on this does not match what is on the Pro Micro. I'm confused. Okay, so we've got SPI, SCK. Hang on, I'm going to bring this up. My nose is running now because it's so cold in here. So we've got, come on, open in new tab. Sorry, all the notifications are distracting me. It's just totally thrown my brain. I don't know what I'm doing now. What am I doing? Okay, so I want MISO, MOSI, and SCK. Yes, so that is, brown is going to SCK. All right, that makes sense. But then why do I have up here, orange is going to MISO. No, it's not. Orange is going to V out, which is 5 volts, reset and ground. Oh, okay. It does make sense now. It matches. I was looking at this offset by 1 pin, so I can wire some jumpers up to this, and then I should be able to flash that keyboard. So let's come back to, what is the time? Yeah, I really want to stop at 12 because I don't want this person, this random Facebook Marketplace person turning up while I'm still streaming. But it would be nice to, actually, Alexa, turn on bench 1. Okay. But it would be nice to get the bootloader onto this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to achieve it. All right, so my problem is I need to connect from this to this. And I think the easiest way to do it, because these pins are already in the correct order to match this side, because it goes over face down into there, is to solder some jumper wires onto the pins here and then plug them into the breadboard. I think that's going to be my most straightforward path to victory and success. So I want to match up white. I'm probably not going to have the right ones here. Yeah, I'm going to go for my larger jumpers thing. What have I got? There's a red to red. Orange. So yeah, it's at the point where if this person has miscalculated their travel time, they could turn up at my door any moment unexpectedly. And so it may be that I end this stream very unexpectedly. So if that happens, I apologize in advance, but that's the way it goes. Okay, black there. And then I just need a couple more. Not really too fussed about what color they are. So that one can be the ground connection, and yellow will do. Yellow can be miso. Okay. Now they need to go to the adjacent rows here. So I think if I put this on here, and I need to tin all those wires. I'm sacrificing jumpers for the cause, putting solder onto them. That one. And there. Okay, so working across. I've got to make sure I get the correct one. So that one is going to what? I'll do it from, all right, I've got to check my offsets again. So that the top one, am I using that? Oh, that is 7 to 12 volts. No, so ground, which means that blue is going to ground, which is this one here. And then after that, it is all just matching the offsets. So red is reset. Oops. I managed to bridge it. And then this is 5 volts on the orange. Then what am I doing? I'm skipping 3. No, skipping 4. Skipping 4 pins. And then going on, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on to the 5th. And then I've got 3 going on from there. So hopefully with this, I'll be able to get the bootloader on, and then everything will go smoothly. Okay, so programmer, plug the programmer in. Okay, so now we've got programmer plugged in, we've got power on it, and I'll come back to the computer, and we should be able to use Arduino IDE. It doesn't matter what the sketch is because I'm not actually loading the sketch. Oh, come on. Port. Programmer, USB, Aspen, bootloader, Arduino Micro. Yes, okay, do it. And burning. Aha! It is putting the bootloader on. It may be in slow clock mode. Is the jumper on? No, it's not in slow clock mode. I don't think it is. It's just taking a long time. But the good thing is that it seems to be writing. So at least we should have the bootloader on it after this. And then maybe the DFU upload will work. All right, that finished. So let's get all of that out of the way. Get that out of the way. Go back to here. And I've got to unplug USB from the programmer. Plug it into the Pro Micro. And now, let's see if this works. Oh, asking for the password. Oh, no device present. Okay, given the time, I think I'm going to have to admit defeat on this right now and figure it out some other time. Maybe I will try uploading the hex just like this. So if I upload Blink again, oh hang on, AVRDo done. Let's see what command it was using. It was doing oh come on, back to here. AVR, let's cheat. And I'm going to copy this. Yes, yes, yes. All of that.
Outside the box said, go get rid of that rack.
Not quite, not quite. Okay, now if I paste that in there, and then I don't want to upload that from the build environment. I want to upload it from downloads. Oh, let's see if it'll autocomplete if I do that. No. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, let's see if I separate it from there. Will it autocomplete? Because I'm trying to use autocomplete. Yes, and here we go. PL. Where's tab on this keyboard? There. MIT hex. Tab. Yes. All right. And then get rid of that space. And let's try. Here we go. Upload. Upload. Come on. Come on. What are you doing? Programmer is not responding. Why is programmer not responding? All right, I'm going to hit the reset button on it again. And try again. No such file or directory? What? How can there be no such file or directory? How? It auto-completed. Let's try something different. No. Control C, get out of there. How do I get out of here? Control C. Let's just do this. Control C. Yes, that's better. Okay. Now let's do MV downloads. Oh, not caps lock. Tab. Tab. PL MIT. No. Tab. Things are in different places on this keyboard. To here. All right. So this time I'm going to do PL MIT hex from the current location, and we'll see if that works. See if it can find it. Programmer is not responding. Boink. Nope, no such file or directory. What? How can there be no such file or directory? I just reset it. This is annoying. No such file or directory. Why has it gone away? is it at a different address now? Tools. Oh, don't beach ball me, you stupid Arduino IDE.
Outside
Port.
the box said, remove tilde.
Remove tilde. Yeah, it's the... yeah, maybe you're right. No, it's the... did I have the tilde still in there? No, it's gone. So this path is correct. The problem is that the port doesn't exist. And I have... so yeah, it's gone away. Weird things are happening. Oh, stop beach balling, you stupid thing. See, the port just isn't there. Even if I unplug it and then plug it back in, I'll plug it into a different port on the hub. Now, where is it there? Nope. Yeah, see, the port is just gone. It's not there anymore. It's not appearing. So that Pro Micro is being a problem. I am going to have to end it here. At a frustrating time, sadly. Frustrating, annoying. I want to solve this though. I want to get this keyboard done. So, I'm just keeping an eye on the cameras. No car out the front right now. I want to get this keyboard done and then get the VIA integration done for it as well. So I'm going to keep messing around with it. I might mess around with it a little bit once I've sorted out this this rack pickup thing. And report back later.
Outside the box said, Uru then. Have a nice day, everyone.
Yeah, so I'm going to go. Thanks everybody for coming along, even though this was like a no progress episode. It was still nice to hang out with you on a Sunday and to hear updates from people. So I'm going to go and I will talk to you all next week. Thanks. See ya.